Welcome back to 120 Minutes. I'm Matt Pinfield. I'm here with my special guest, Bjork. Good to have you, Bjork.
Good to be here.
Really glad you stopped by. Now, you have a new album out called Telegram, which is a bunch of remixes of some of your songs, plus, of course, a new song, My Spine. But one of the things I wanted to bring up is over the years, even in the days of the Sugar Cubes, because I DJ'd clubs for a long time, there were always interesting remixes of songs coming out, all the way back from Birthday and Cold Sweat, all the way up. And even on your first two solo albums, the remixes that would come up of Human Behavior or Big Time Sensuality, or, you were always, employing and incorporating remixes pretty much through your whole career. Is that something, how do you look at remixing as an art form? Is it something that you see as taking a song in a totally different direction?
I think ever since, music started, and music started before, even man existed,
Right.
Because they found those flutes with monkeys, that even before the man started. So they were playing flutes, before us. They always had this thing about having many versions of each song. Bit like, saying there's many sides to every story. So I really like that because it just gives you another angle of the same thing. As long as you focus on what was originally the character of the song and never lose that, stay that completely focused, you can sort of, and it's just like a turn on because it's exciting, Gives you just, it's a turn on to investigate that, the other side of the song if you want.
Right, and is that one of the things that you found interesting? Because here's a piece of work, a song that you've written or worked on, and you give it to someone else and it's their interpretation. They've reworked it, they add some different instrumentation, or they maybe minimalize it and pull it back, or there's different things. That's got to be a completely different, it's got to be a great experience to actually hear that and see that being done.
Well, I always go so chuffed and so grateful when people that I respect very, very much show that much interest in my work to actually throw it on the mixing desk and have a play with it and maybe create something there that wasn't there, like add to it. So I just go really, like grateful,
Yeah.
like I'm flattered that they care.
Yeah, and they do, and they've done some amazing work, and we're going to talk more with you about it in just a little while. We'll be back with Bjork in just a few. Right now we're going to show you the second video from the second Bush album, Razor Blade Suitcase. Now this video is a takeoff on the old, remember the Vincent Price film, The Fly, a long time ago. Anyway, you can see Gavin acting in this video as well. And the song is called Greedy Fly. So here's the video, new from Bush on 120 Minutes. Ashen Nugget, that's Cake with her cover of I Will Survive, a song that was originally done in the 70s by Gloria Gaynor, and big hit for her. And it's the second video from that second album. I'm back with Bjork. I'm Matt Pinfield, and we're talking about the new album called Telegram. Now, let's talk a bit about some of the songs on there. Now, obviously, there's a lot of different things that have been remixed before, but My Spine is a new track. You decided to record one new song.
Yeah.
And tell me a bit about the woman you worked with on that.
Oh, she's gorgeous. She's called Evelyn Glennie.
Right.
And she is my age, from Scotland, and is probably one of the few classical percussionists in the world. Like she's very sought after, and she's got a very fresh approach, to what she does. And we kind of got this started getting really interested in each other. And then I visited her to Oxford, and we improvised for one day in her garage, which is full of all these quite exotic drums and things that you can touch and play with or whatever. She had made herself out of exhaust pipes she had found in the area. It's kind of xylophone. And so we kind of looked in each other's eyes, had a lot of tea and biscuits, as they do where she lives, and just improvised. And this song came from that, called My Spine.
Wow, so it's actually exhaust pipes from cars and other things. And what did she do? Did she actually cut them to the side so she'd get different sounds out of them? Like a xylophone?
I don't know. I didn't even want to know because it would take the mystery away. And I just looked at it as, what a woman.
Yeah, it's really...
It's quite a woman.
That's great, whole creative thing, percussion and instruments. We're talking more with Bjork in just a bit, so keep tuned right here to 120. We'll be back in just a minute. Welcome back to 120 Minutes. I'm Matt Pinfield, and sitting next to me is Bjork. And it's so nice to have you here. hanging out on a late night in this relaxing pillow, love pad, chill kind of atmosphere. But anyway, let's talk a bit about the new video for I Miss You. It's really amazing. Some of the videos that you've turned out over the years, I mean, going back, even to things like I mentioned the off-camera motor crash, all the way up through, Army of Me and Human Behavior, and really interesting videos that you've done. And It's Also Quiet, obviously, the whole BuzzFeed Berkeley, that thing was amazing. It was beautiful. But let's talk a bit about the new one, because it's John Kay from Ren and Stimpy has done this animated piece of you, and you definitely lend yourself well to animation because you've got so much character. Tell me a bit about how you came to work with John.
Okay. Well, I've just been really spoiled rotten because I worked with really, really good people, you see. Yeah. And since I was a teenager in Iceland, we ran this label and people were doing like low-budget films and everything do-it-yourself, attitude, sort of punk. Okay, I can be an artist too, and all that, which is good for, experimentation and experience and all that. And then after that, I'd just been meeting all these directors who both, I'm really flattered, they're really interested in my song and really make a big effort to understand what I'm on about, which sometimes is a bit, hard to get, and they do. And John Kay, like the last of, that I worked with, it was just brilliant because he's just saved my life so many times. Ren and Stimpy, stuff that he did, he like created them. But again, I've got to stress, he like created them and did the first episodes, and then somebody else took over, and you can really, really see the difference, But his ones are all gutsy and full of life and admiration for reality.
Yeah.
And I'm a sucker for stuff like that,
Right, exactly.
But it's all his work. And you see all the drawings he made of me,
Yeah.
It took half a year for him and like 40 mates of his. He's been sending me stuff back and forth. We've been talking about it and everything. And it's like really flattering how he's drawn me. That look that sexy, like really like, whoa.
You look great.
Yeah.
Anyway, but you look great.
Yeah, I'm like really, and all the things that happen in it too.
Yeah.
Oh, he's a genius, John Kay is.
Yeah, it's amazing. I think people, well, of course, they saw it last week as well, but it's time to see it again. Let's show it to everybody right now. It's such a great video. Let's check out Bjork, and this is from Telegram, and I Miss You on 120 Minutes. Debut album Destruction by definition, that is a band called Suicide Machines with no face here on 120 Minutes. So if you listen to that CD all the way through, there's a bonus Minor Threat cover on the end of that. Anyway, I'm Matt Pinfield, and I'm here with Bjork. And, let's talk a bit about your recording career started when you were, a young kid back in Iceland when you were about 11 years old, right?
Yeah.
You did your first record, and I've read, I'd love to hear that you did the Beatles' Fool on the Hill on there.
Yeah, we did 6 songs, Icelandic songs, original, and we did 4 covers, which was translated to Icelandic,
Wow.
It was that exciting for an 11-year-old.
Yeah. What other songs did you cover besides Fool on the Hill on there?
We one by Stevie Wonder.
Which one was it?
Your Kiss is Sweet,
Okay.
it's called.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was, I was introduced to a studio with all the knobs, and they did all the fancy tricks for me, playing my voice like really fast, so I sounded like Donald Duck, and backwards, and whoa,
Yeah.
all that stuff, and I was just mesmerized,
Yeah, it must have been exciting at 11. And it went gold in Iceland, the record?
Yep, 3,000 copies.
3,000 copies, it's great, it's amazing. That's all, it's all relative to the population in every country, and that's what that's all about, really. But that's really excellent. Now, you've come to actually work, so many artists have been, like you said, besides directors, many artists have been really interested in your work, too. From Madonna with Bedtime Stories, and, you work with Tribe Called Quest and done some stuff. How did the people we've written in and said, how did the Madonna thing come about? And how do you feel about her as an artist?
Well, I think she approached Nelly Hooper, who we're like the team who did Debut.
Right.
My first record.
He's a great producer, yeah.
Yeah, he's gorgeous, Nelly is. And Nelly came up with the idea, I'm not sure if it came from her or him, and that we would do some stuff from her, kind of like, because it was still warm after Debut. Right. And I at first didn't feel it was right, because Debut was such a personal thing for me.
Yeah.
and it's just like the songs was writing from my heart, and it's a question, maybe she should write from her heart or something like that. But then suddenly I thought, okay, get an angle, and because I'm an outsider, I could sort of maybe write a lyric for another mouth, and that suddenly became very exciting to me, you know.
Yeah.
And I ended up finishing doing the song, but I've like never met her or anything. But I think she's a very, very brave person. And what I like probably most about her is that way she sort of stuck to her guns as a character, you know?
Yeah.
And that sometimes she obviously has to go through a lot of struggle to just stay her, I guess.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, absolutely. But it's a good song. You did a really good job with it as well.
Oh, thanks a lot.
And we're going to actually show a video when we come back right after this break of a song that is remixed on Telegram, but we're going to show you the original version from Post just after this, so don't go away. And welcome back to 120 Minutes. I'm Matt Pinfield, and I've been speaking with Bjork tonight, and we're going to speak a little more right now. Now, there's a new biography out on you at this point. Is that true, Bjork? I'm hearing about a book that's being written about you.
Yeah, I wasn't too into it, you know? I think when people write a biography about you, it sort of means you've done all your best and squeezed everything out of the toothpaste, and you're just going to, like, retire after that or something. There's absolutely no way I'm stopping now.
Right.
Just died.
You've just begun.
I've got at least 50 years to go.
Absolutely.
But you know, freedom of expression and all that, you know. So he did his book, but yeah, no comment.
Yeah, I understand. So, let's talk about a couple of the, I mean, you've worked with Outkast over there, and let's talk about some of the people you've worked with in remixing. What are some of the things that on Telegram that some of the songs you found, you know, most interesting? Obviously, I'm sure you like them all. But tell me about some of the marriages of the people that you worked with in doing the remixes, that maybe things that came up as a surprise musically. Is there someone in particular that you worked with on the record that?
Oh, it's so emotional for me to make music. And I've been very lucky because I've worked with so many people, and every collaboration has been very special, you know? And I never collaborate with people just because or something.
Right.
It always just has a natural, you know, foreplay if you want, and it all sort of has to be. It has to be really sensitive, and really open and really right, you know, and if the chemistry ain't right, you just you actually never end up doing a song, you know, and it just has to be right because. I mean, to make music is like organizing an accident, you know, and you have to be very sensitive about the right atmosphere and everything, and everything is precious to me. There's no way. When I picked the songs for Telegram, I had 50 songs, 50 versions to pick from, and I picked 9, and that was such, you know, like I had beep.
Yeah, it was hard.
For me, that it took me ages and ages to and also just get the right order. And the songs, I mean, there's even songs versions I'm really precious about that didn't even make it, like the version I did with Howie B did a version for me, Talman Singh did a version for me. Both these people are very, very precious to me. Right. And it didn't even make it on the disc, so it's hard for me to pick, you see.
Yeah, I wanted to say that it's been great to have you here, Bjork. We enjoyed it, and let people know that Telegram's in the stores right now, and we'll have you on again real soon. We have to do that. We're going to talk in more detail. But before you go, we're going to play a video from the Post album. Now, this is Army of Me, and a great song, great feel. I just love the thread, the bass, and the riff, and the drum running through this. So let's check it out. So thanks for coming, Bjork.
Thank you.
It was good to have you. Here's Army of Me. Bye-bye now. On 120 Minutes.